Let's move away from Nigeria. Let's go to Zimbabwe now. The Zimbabwe chapter of the Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA, has launched a panic alert button in the form of a digital application to help media practitioners and journalists ensure their safety during emergencies.
According to MISA, the launch comes after an increase in the number of attacks against journalists in the country and has called for the safety of journalists to be a priority during the upcoming 2023 general elections. It is believed that the introduction of the panic button will help save lives, and offer immediate legal assistance.
Now, joining us to talk about this is Nompilo Simanje, who's a legal ICT policy officer with the Media Institute of South Africa, MISA. Good morning, Nompilo. Thanks for joining us.
Hello, good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, what's the weather like in South Africa?
In Zimbabwe, we're already in winter season. It's a bit cold, but today I think it's the beauty of the Africa Day because there's quite a good sun. It's a beautiful day, and I think it's promising to be quite a warm day as well.
Okay, hopefully you step outside at some point and get some of that sunlight and truly enjoy Africa Day. Good to see you. Now, let's talk about, what you would say has been the most pushing factor behind the creation of that particular application.
So as MISA Zimbabwe, we conduct media monitoring, where we look at cases of media violations against journalists, particularly while they are undertaking their work. We also look at developments in the legal framework and the various nature of threats, from arrests and detention, unjustified arrest and detention, insults and intimidation, assault, harassment, and the likes. So we have had this monitoring program for quite a while. And before we had this newly launched app, we had another one that was called Jono SOS app. And now we have a more modified version, which we believe is more user-friendly. And so what really influenced the development of this app is that monitoring, where we have been seeing particularly key trends in the Southern African region. And we noted that particularly during the election periods or election season, there's an increase in numbers of media violations against practitioners and journalists. So as a result, we thought now would be an opportune time to have this panic button app launched, particularly because in Zimbabwe, we had by-elections on the 26th of March. But next year, I think around July 2023, we also have general elections coming up. So because of that prevailing environment, we thought it was very important to have this modified version of the panic button app available for use for media practitioners and journalists in distress.
Nompilo, this is a really beautiful innovation. Talk to us about how this application works and what the response has been from journalists.
So we have received quite overwhelming support from media practitioners. We have noted that practitioners are quite interested to have this piece of technology being useful to assist them in times of distress while they're undertaking their work. And in terms of the features of the app, we are cognizant of key developments around data protection and privacy. So when we're developing this app, this was something that we took note of. This app has access to about 3 features in a person's phone, one of them being an alarm, the second one being contacts, and the other one being SMS. So when you have this application in your phone, which unfortunately is currently available only for Android users and is available on Google Play Store, when you have this application and you download and install it in your phone, the application will prompt you to insert your emergency contacts, which are people that would receive a message from you in the event that you are in some form of distress. Also, what the app allows you then to do also is that you put in a message. There's already a template message which is there, which says, I'm in distress and I am at this location, please assist me. But also you can put your own customized message, which you'd want your emergency contacts to receive. So your emergency contacts can be your family, your colleagues, but also MISA Zimbabwe, because we have a media defense fund that is always on standby to provide emergency response support. So the moment you put those contacts and you put your customized message, when you're in distress and you press the trigger button, there's a red trigger button, the alert button that you press. When you press that button in any event of distress, your emergency contacts will receive an SMS and will also receive your location. So it also has access to your location. And that access should only be enabled while you are using the application, so that we don't violate any of your data protection and privacy. If your emergency contacts also have the same application, once they receive that SMS, in a period of 1 minute, they'll also receive an alert button, which triggers them to immediately attend to the SMS. So in brief, this is how the app works.
That sounds really, really cool. And we hope that it eventually gets fully into use and spreads across Africa. Nompilo, we would have to let you go here, and we will bring you back again for further discussions on this application and, of course, talking about how we can also move it across the continent. Thank you so much for your time this morning, and enjoy Africa Day.
Thank you so much for having me. All the best, you too.
Absolutely.